Welcome in, everyone. I'm Renee, the visionary here at the Phoenix Uprising. In this video, you'll see intuitively chosen images, each attuned to the current energy and meant to spark your inner knowing. This is a collective reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest for others. These messages are offered for guidance and inspiration, not as a substitute for professional advice. Let's begin by clearing the space. You'll hear 3 chimes starting now. If you have a question for Source, offer it to the universe and be ready to receive with an open heart and mind. All right, let's begin. I'm hearing out of the horse's mouth and communication breakdown. I feel like someone needs to hear the truth from you or vice versa. Communication breakdown. I believe that's the name of a Led Zeppelin song, so that could be significant for someone. I feel like there's going to be closure and clarity that will be shown to you or given to another by you. I'm hearing no misunderstandings. They're going to be hearing it directly from you, or you're going to be hearing the truth directly from someone else. I'm seeing the Chariot, the Nine of Pentacles, the Star, and the Ace of Swords. The Chariot talks about willpower, overcoming obstacles, a need to be self-disciplined and assertive. Of course, it talks about forward movement and possibly travel. The Nine of Pentacles talks about independence, material abundance, which is achieved through discipline and putting in the work. The Star talks about strong connections to the spiritual realm, brighter times ahead, inner wisdom, hope, inspiration. It's a calm, healing, and optimistic indicator. The Ace of Swords talks about mental clarity, new thought patterns, and new ideas. A moment of truth, a new phase, making a bold decision based on logical reasoning. It could be talking about positive self-talk, seeing through deception, and clear and honest communication. For some of you out there, I'm hearing watch your tone and the way that you deliver the truth. Why? Well, there's nothing wrong with being truthful, is there? But the delivery of that truth can make a big difference. Because I feel like for some of you, it is going to be a harsh truth that you're delivering to someone else, but the way you frame it will make a difference in your future where that person is concerned. This could be someone who has some sort of authority in your life. I'm hearing that phrase about the tongue being a sword. The tongue is supposed to be sharper than any two-edged sword. I believe that's in the Bible, which is, of course, emphasizing the power of words to cause harm. The delivery of this truth is going to be paramount. I'm not saying you have to tippy-toe around them, but if they will be playing a pivotal role in your future, there is a correct way and an incorrect way to deliver this truth so that you won't burn a bridge, right? Because for whatever reason, that's important here. I'm seeing the angelfish and the killer whale. What do we know about angelfish? Their unique shapes make them agile. They have a symbiotic relationship with other fish and the coral reef. They clean up, so they're quite important, actually. They are prone to disease, particularly parasites and bacterial infections. So some of you may be having some issues with parasites or bacterial infections. I feel like this is talking about, for most of you, you have angelic protection and perhaps messages from angels coming in for you. The killer whale. Killer whales are highly intelligent, socially intelligent. They have exceptional hunting skills because they strategize with other whales. They're called wolves of the ocean. So they work together in teams in order to be efficient. They can also recognize their own reflection in a mirror. That lends to a very high intelligence, by the way. Not all animals can do that. They also pass down their behaviors and hunting techniques throughout the generations. So there's generational knowledge, skills, talents, abilities. There's a lot of talk here about communication. With the communication breakdown, for some of you, I feel like it's someone who you may have lost, a loved one, and you miss that sense of communication, right? For others of you, it's someone from your past who you've cut communication with, who is trying to reach out to you. And that could be through dreams or through energetic ties that you still have. I'm hearing write your own story. And in this depiction, there is a semicolon tattoo. I know that some people are getting those tattoos as an affirmation of like solidarity for those who have dealt with personal difficulties like depression. The semicolon in writing is used to connect related thoughts. I'm hearing clarity. I feel like you're going to get clarity on a situation either from someone else or through either your dreams or some sort of message from your ancestors, because I'm seeing a pine cone. Pine cones, to me, of course, we think of the pineal gland, right? You could be going through a pineal activation. It talks about wisdom and messages from your ancestors or a wise elder. With writing your own story, I'm also seeing someone practicing automatic writing. If you don't know what that is, it's done in a trance-like or a meditative state, and it's a very free-flowing type of writing where it's continual without pause or overthinking. You just sort of write what comes to your mind. Now you can focus this by asking yourself a question and just freely start writing. You might be surprised at what comes through. I feel like there's a message for some of you. Perhaps some of you are having a little bit of trouble with deciding on the path for you. I feel like you're learning no matter what path you're choosing. I feel like you're going to arrive at your destination no matter what path you're on. I'm hearing love yourself. Now, this could be talking about self-care rituals for your physical and mental health. I'm hearing this is our happy place. And I'm also seeing like a park by a river, specifically a bench that's overlooking the water. Perhaps that was significant between you and someone who has passed on. That is something that you did together. I'm seeing two people feeding ducks by a river's edge. And for those of you that this applies to, I feel like you still go there. You still visit this place. And it makes you feel close to the person that you once did this activity with. And they want you to know that they see that. For some of you, it's a mother figure. Perhaps not your mother. It could be a grandmother or someone who was in your life that was very mothering to you. It could also be a beach. For some of you, I'm seeing some of you standing on a pier with a female. It seems like a family member to me. And this is a place that you go back to over and over and over because this place brings you closeness with this individual. I'm hearing enjoy the simple things. Taking walks near the water, slow mornings on the weekends, bubble baths by candlelight with your favorite book. I feel like there's a need to romanticize the mundane things in your life. I'm hearing remote work. Now, this could be talking about working from home, of course, or working at a remote destination, right? I feel like for some of you, it's also talking about remote viewing. Remote viewing is the idea that the mind is not bound by the physical body and information can be accessed beyond the five senses. Communication through other extrasensory means. There's been a communication breakdown with someone, whether by someone's passing or someone just transitioning out of your life in some way, but there's going to be a truth come in from someone to you, or you are going to be sharing your truth with someone, and it could be both, right? Perhaps someone from your past is going to be reaching out to you, and it could be providing the closure that you need. This person is coming in from the past, not necessarily to get back together if it was a past lover. They didn't like the way that things ended, and neither did you, right? However that fits for you. But like I said, there is a need to harness your tongue and be mindful of the way that you express this truth. Fully express your truth, for sure, but don't do it in a sharp way, because that may come back to bite you later on down the road. There's nothing worse than really letting someone have it. Say everything you need to say and say it with gusto, right? That can be very satisfying in the moment. But if there ever comes a time where you need that person for any reason whatsoever, you'll end up having to swallow your pride in order to get their assistance in the future. You know what I mean? So take it easy on the sharpness. I'm really hearing that song by Led Zeppelin just over and over and over. Like Led Zeppelin was someone's favorite group, right? Or you guys enjoyed listening to those songs together. I'm seeing passion flower and milk thistle. Passion flower is good for sleep support. It can also reduce ADHD symptoms and menopausal symptoms. It's good for anxiety. Milk thistle is for promoting healthy liver function. It also aids in digestion and boosts your immune system. It can also help with healthier skin. It also boosts milk production in lactating mothers. I feel like with this remote work or remote viewing, I feel like there's a push and pull of energy between you and someone else. And this could be dreams, it could be through meditation. I feel like spiritual work is being done during your dream state. For some of you, people from the past or those who have transitioned, maybe things were not great in the way that you left them. And you may feel like you will never have the opportunity to make that right. But I don't think that's the case, actually, because there's a lot of communication going on between you and another party in your dream state or in a meditative state. In your subconscious mind, your higher self is in communication with this other person. A lot of things are being healed while you sleep. There are higher forms of communication between you and this other party during your sleep hours. I feel like you could definitely benefit also from this automatic writing. There are some things that could come through for you as far as messages from ancestors, perhaps. You can get messages from people who are still living. I feel like you can still get the answers to the questions that you have through your own intuition and also your higher consciousness, right? I'm seeing the Larimar stone. The Larimar stone is associated with the ocean and also the throat chakra. Larimar enhances communication, self-expression, and emotional healing. It also brings about clarity and inner healing. Perhaps you could get a small Larimar and keep that with you or put it under your pillow at night. I feel like that could enhance your dream state and really bring you some clarity on the situation with this truth that needs to be spoken. And the thing is, it doesn't have to be a truth that needs to be spoken to someone else or someone telling you the truth. It could be your higher self telling you a truth that you may not want to hear or have never considered about a situation from the past or about a situation with a loved one who has passed on. It could actually be you sharing a truth with you, right? I feel like with this Chariot card, you've overcome a lot of adversity and you are moving into independence and material abundance with the Nine of Pentacles. Of course, the Star card talks about recognition, being seen, not necessarily in a stardom kind of way, but it could be for some of you. In this instance, I feel like it's talking about inner wisdom and inspiration, brighter times ahead, right? The Ace of Swords is bringing in mental clarity and new thought patterns, new ideas. I feel like it is going to bring you a moment of truth, whether that's in the waking hours or while you sleep. Communication's very strong here in this reading. Killer whales have incredible communication skills, not only just through the sounds that they make, but also the way that they interact with one another as a team, right? I feel like for some of you, in the near future, you are going to be finding your tribe. You're going to be in a circle of friends or in a group of friends that have similar values and goals. You're going to have the opportunity to travel and work on the road. For some of you, that's a big goal, and it's going to happen, by the way. There's a real need here to love on yourself, implement some self-care that matters to you, right? Whatever self-care is to you, something that makes you feel important to you, right? It doesn't have to be for the world to see. It's whatever makes you feel closer to spirit. With this angelfish energy, it's really mirroring the fact that you're going to be finding a team. There's a symbiotic relationship between the angelfish. They clean up other fish and they clean up the coral reefs, so they're very important in their communities. When can we expect some forward movement? Well, I'm hearing the third quarter, which would be July through September. I feel like for some of you, with out of the horse's mouth, there's definitely going to be some communication coming in for some of you that will be giving you a truth that will help you move forward. Perhaps you've been a bit stuck in some stagnant energy because you didn't know the whole truth of a situation, right? But having this truth will help you move forward and leave the past in the past. May you be highly favored and abundant in all good things. I'd like to leave you with today's food for thought quote. 3 things cannot be long hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. Buddha. Stay true to yourself, trust the journey, and step boldly into your next chapter. Only up from here, and together we rise.